Hey, all my friends, it's Gigi, also known as Emma B. Knits, and I am here with episode 16 of my regular podcast. I am taping this for the second time because I had a microphone on and it looked like it was hooked up to my computer. Not. So right now, it looks like the only microphone I have is what's in my computer. So there we go. That's what we're going to deal with today. Okay. For those of you so thankful who put out well wishes for my procedure, it went really well. I'm going to go a little bit close. You can see I have a scar here. I will put up a picture of what it looked like that day when they were right after they sewed me up. So I have about a 1-inch scar. It is raised and it's typically going to be like that, or they're going to do that because the skin will soften up once the trauma and it's healed, and it will layer flat, and then that will give it a normal thickness for skin. If she had just sewn it together like, this, then it would have like stretched thinner because that's what the skin does, I guess. She specializes in Mohs surgery, MOHS, and they were able to get the basal cell out on the very first try, didn't have to go very deep. So knock on wood, I'm grateful for that. Sorry, chef. I'm watching my grand dog. My youngest daughter's on vacation with her husband and in-laws, and he is here with me. So if you see a black dog walking around behind me, that is Chef. And anyway, so that went well. Thank you for the well wishes. I am 2 weeks out and I can't believe how good this looks. I've done all the things. I was in the hyperbaric chamber every day after the procedure before I went to Unwind. I had a far infrared mask that I would wear. I had far infrared mat that I would sleep on. And then as soon as the stitches were out, I've been putting this silicone tape on my face that is supposed to be, they call it scar away or whatever. So helping with that. So I have to be pretty diligent with that for the next couple of months. And I'm just grateful that it was done. And I did look like a pirate for a while. Still kind of do a little bit, but it is what it is. And it's going to heal. So I'm feeling very confident in that. Okay, what am I wearing? I am wearing the Super Simple Summer Sweater by Joji Locatelli, who I had the pleasure of taking a class from at Unwind Retreat in Kansas City, Missouri. And I was very excited about that. I learned something so fun and so exciting that I am designing my very first, my design sweater. And I'm really excited for that. So I just started on that. I will show you that in the whip section. Let's see what else has been going on. We just came back from Kansas City, Missouri. I was there with a bunch of ladies. Quite a few of them were from last year. Some of them I had met at Flock. When you do enough of this traveling and enough fiber festivals and retreats, you kind of meet same people. You go around. We are a small niche community. I call it a cottage industry, in which I think that describes it perfectly. And that's the way it needs to stay. I don't think that it is a scalable big corporation type of model. And I think it needs to stay primarily small business, individual owner style, hobby business. I know that there are people who've made bigger businesses out of their hobby business, like Jimmy Bean Wools, like La Bien Amie. But I am not of the mindset to build it up and sell it off to a venture capitalist firm, because I just don't think, men in suits know much or anything about this industry. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm not against people making money and being able to get a payday. Good for them, but that's not me. I have a bag. This was last year's bag. This was Unwind 2025's bag. I don't know where it is. The other bag. I'll find it. Okay. So this is what I'm wearing, and let's go to finished objects. I have one finished object. Last time I had quite a few. This time I just have the one. I have finished my Brooklyn Raglan Lite by Tori Yu. It is with a self-striping yarn, Rosarios 4, and it's called Bemme Kier. Anyway, if you want to know what it is, go to last week's episode 15, and down in the notes, I have listed what it is. I got it in Porto, Portugal. The only thing I did different, and you'll see that, is down here at the bottom. When you look at the Ravelry picture right there, it is supposed to be scooped in the front and the back. And you do that by doing quite a few short rows. The only problem is with self-striping yarn, it doesn't look very good. So I frogged it back, and I decided to do it more traditionally and just finish it with a rib finish. I love, love, love these sleeves. I think these sleeves are fabulous. These are a pseudo broken rib pattern, and it just gives it so much texture. I will be knitting this again, but I'm going to knit it with a tonal because I do want to do the short rows on the bottom and give it that scoop. So, yep. And this is cotton, linen, and silk, I think. I don't know. I'll put it up here. I remember, you know me, I'll do it afterwards once I can think and not have brain farts, because that's what I do. I have brain farts. So that is my finished object, and I have quite a few whips. So let's go ahead and go to the whips. Okay, I have whips, and I've got quite a few. So here's one that I've done nothing on since last time. And this is Grandpa Socks by Alicia Plummer. Let me put it right up there. This is my Farmer Daughters Fibers Sock Squad May 2025 colorway. It's called New Leaf on Bighorn Sock. This was the inspiration photo. So, I think, yep, that pretty much came out that way. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll finish these socks off, and then I think I'm just, instead of getting fancy schmancy, I just want to finish the dumb socks. Not dumb. I just want to finish the socks. So I think what I will do is just do vanilla, and I'll do the contrasting color that they give us, the little mini. I will go ahead and just do that on the cuff, the toe, and the heel, and use up that yarn that way, just so I can get it done, because it's easier and faster to do a vanilla sock than one that has a lot of different styles. I still have June and May to finish, and June to even cast on, but I haven't touched that because I'm not in the sock mojo right now. I am in sweater mojo, which, speaking of which, I have cast on, and I'm working on the bottom back yoke of the Sylven. So this is in Adara Fiber Arts linen base that Carmen has in the colorway Lake, which I just love. I think it's beautiful, right? And it's very, very soft. The way the Sylven is knit is from the top down. You do the back yoke. Once you get the back yoke down, the short part, to 7 inches, then you go up and cast on the left shoulder, knit down toward the front. Then you go to the right shoulder and knit down towards the front. Then you combine the two shoulders together for the neckline. And then you keep going back and forth until you're 7 inches on the front. And then you join together and basically under the armpits, and you can go in the round from there. So that is the Sylven. Hornby is her last name. Of course, I'm going to put it all up here so you can see that. And I will put it in the show notes so you can see what I'm doing. And I have a hair. Frig. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm a mess. I'm a mess today. All right, show notes, sock, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, where is it? Is it in here? I took a class from Romy Hill, and Romy did a collaborative. So she is putting out a pattern. We got the pattern 2 weeks before it goes public. and it's of smoke and stone. And it is using Mayax Koopa yarn. So you have this graphite color, and then you have Samana. And this is 50% baby yak, 50% organic cotton. It is so light and airy and luscious. I can't tell you how light this fabric is. This is so good. So what we've done here is you cast on right here, and then you just keep knitting outwards like that. And now I have gotten to the section where we're doing the slip stitching. There's a bunch of slip stitching. I will just put a quick picture of it up there. Look for it. By the time this hits, it'll be Tuesday, the 23rd, I think. So I'm thinking Friday, the 26th or Saturday, the 27th, it'll be up on Ravelry. And it's got that slip stitch section that gives the diamonds, and then you finish with just the lace. So Romy is a really good teacher. And not only is she a fabulous teacher, but she is the most amazing pattern writer. Can I just show you charts like that? I'm going to do it really quick because I don't want anybody thinking, I don't want to give the pattern away because it is a purchase pattern. And she has color coding on it. She has 2 types of charts. What you see is what you knit, which is she shows you all the stitches you do on the right side and all the stitches on the wrong side. And then it's the what you see is what you get, which is basically a right side view of what it's supposed to look like. And that typically is what we're used to. So for instance, if there's an open box, that means knit if you're on the right side, and it means purl if you're on the wrong side. So you kind of have to flip things in your head when you're reading those charts. But in addition to that, if you don't like charts, she has it completely written out too, row by row, which is just amazing. So she's very detail oriented. I love that about her patterns. She's an amazing pattern writer. So I appreciate that very, very much. So Of Smoke and Stone, that should be coming out this Friday. And look for that because it's a beautiful, beautiful shawl. Absolutely stunning. Okay, what is my next one? I have the Fleur, I think. I took a class with Joji Locatelli, and it was called Circular Yoke Sweaters That Fit. So how to get your circular yoke sweaters that fit. This is a circular yoke sweater. I should probably, I was just talking to my friend Cheyenne, and I was explaining to her, and she said, I don't know what a circular yoke is. And I thought, okay, maybe you do, but she's been knitting for quite a while, and I don't think she has not dived into what all the technicalities of the construction are. And I think maybe I'm lucky because I sewed before I knit, so I understand garment construction. But she did the step-by-step sweater, which was her very first top-down sweater. And it's a raglan. So I said, well, what you knit was considered a raglan sleeve. And this one, you start off, you cast on, you connect in the round, and then you do your neckline. And after your neckline, you do increases. And your increases are around, and your increases are even all the way around. In raglans, your increases go like this here and on the back. And that's what makes your body bigger and your sleeves bigger. But a circular yoke is more like a cone. You're creating kind of a cone that starts up here and it goes like this. And by the time you're done, you've got this cone on you, and then you separate, put in some stitches under the arms to expand that space there a little bit, and hopefully that fits. Those of us who have a little bit bustier, my upper bust measurement and my full bust measurement are 3 inches different. So I can do a little finagling to change the way that they fit. This one fits perfect for me. What I did on this one was when I split for sleeves, I put less stitches on the back than I did on the front. I had 10 extra stitches on the front. So what that ended up doing was that just pushed fabric a little bit more forward, which gave me more bust fabric, which was great because on the back, I don't need as much. I mean, if you measure from center underarm across your back to center underarm and the same on the front, you probably get about the same. Those of us who are bustier do not get the same measurement. So sometimes we need a little bit more fabric in the front. Anyway, we did all the math. I did a gauge swatch, so I know what gauge I got with the yarn that I decided to use. And based on that, I was able to get all the calculations done to know how often I have to do increases, how many stitches per increase I need to do, what is my total number of stitches I need before I split for sleeves, and how many underarm stitches I need to put on each underarm. And because of that, I get to design what I can knit what I want. So this is what I've come up with. Here's that's the back. This is the back. So this is a circular yoke pattern. Obviously, if you see the stitches from here to the neck, there's more here than there are here. And that's because you do short rows to lift your back up a little bit. And that pushes this front yoke down a little bit, the front neckline. So it's kind of like an Elton, but I'm not going to go all the way down. I think I'm going to finish under my bust with the striping. But what I'm doing is 3 rows of knitting. So the way it's going to look is 3 rows of knitting, 1 row of purl, 3 rows of knitting, and then I'm going to switch to 4 rows of mohair. After the 4 rows of mohair, I will do 3 rows of knitting with my main color, 1 row of purl, 3 rows of knit, and then another stripe of the mohair. I did decide to hold this mohair double because Surrey silk, if you hold it with one strand, it does tend to fill in the space. It's a little fuzzier in a different way than mohair is. And this with one strand just seemed very, very sheer. And I didn't want to have to wear a tank top or a nude, camisole or something underneath the sweater in order to not have everybody see everything that's underneath it. So with that said, that's what I'm doing. This colorway that I'm doing, it's La Bien-Aimée Soyou, which is her mohair, and it's in the colorway Solara, which is like gray and hot pinks, a little bit of yellow, orange, and grayish. And in the skein, it looked fabulous. When it knits up, I'm really, really happy with it. I can show you, I had to take some of it off and put it onto this bin so you can see it, right? It's just so pretty. And then my main color is Helix yarn by La Bien-Aimée, and Helix is a heavy lace light fingering. So if you hold it double, Amy says you get basically a sport weight, and it is 75% Falkland merino and 25% Gotland wool. It is such lusciousness to knit with this, and I am holding this double. So both of these are being held double. I have 3 skeins of this, which is how many yards? How many yards do I get on this? 710 yards. Yeah, 710 yards for 100 grams. So just a little over I would say 350 yards if you hold it double per skein. And so I got 3 just in case. And then I just have one of these, and this is like 474 yards. So that's what I'm doing on this. I have a Zoom at 12:30 today with Maria, Carmen, and Christina. I will show them what I've done on that. And that is all the whips. Now, let's just I'm going to combine acquisitions and future plans because some of those acquisitions have future plans. Some of them are just acquisitions, but let's get into it and see what I've gotten. So I have some acquisitions, and I got quite a bit of yarn. First one is when we stopped after the airport at Unwind in Lee Summit, Missouri. It was 45 minutes away from us, well, from the airport, and then 45 minutes away from the retreat. It was kind of like a big triangle. We decided, let's just go. What else are we going to do? It was Wednesday. The retreat didn't really start till like Thursday night. Thursday, we did a spa day. We were at the spa in the morning. It was so fun. All the instructors had gotten massages in the early morning, and we didn't have any classes on Thursday. So we just kept that for a spa day for ourselves. Okay. So I bought some Lobby Enemy. Look at the color of this. This is her Cashmerino, and it is, let's see, 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, 10% nylon in the colorway Hoar Frost, Hoar Frost. Isn't that gorgeous? I got enough that if I want to hold it double, it's fingering weight. If I want to hold it double for a DK sweater, I have enough to do that. So we're going to see what we're going to do with that. That has no plans. That's just an acquisition. But I got, and this one also, Plies and Hellhound. I got this at the marketplace. Maggie is the dyer there. And this is her Nectar, it's called. It is fingering weight, and it's 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 20% silk. And I'm sure you can see the silk in that because it's got a beautiful luster to it. This is in the colorway Belladonna. And then this is her fig lace. I got some of her fig lace last year. We called it Dirty Mauve. It turned out it was like a one-off. It was a mistake she made, and she just thought, oh, I'm going to try and sell it. And I loved it. It went perfect with the pink that I'm going to do an Elton tee with. So this one is, let's see, 70% kid mohair and 30% silk, which is wonderful for mohair. It makes it a lot softer. It is in the colorway Magnesium. I think I'm going to do a vest in this and hold these two together. Either that or I might use this as a stripe. I haven't decided yet. Okay. I picked up some more of the Koopa. I'm going to make the Stromboli with this. And I picked this up because Paula, when she was there, she gave a talk about my yak and how it started and where it went, where it's going, and so on and so forth. And one of the things she said is Koopa, they're going to be discontinuing. So I ran to that marketplace. We all did as soon as we could to grab this because this is really, really fabulous yarn. And I want to make something with it. The shawl I'm doing is in the same one, but I wanted to make a Stromboli with this. Originally, the Stromboli, if you look on Ravelry, it's done with this color. It's still the same yarn, but it's graphite. And this one is Samana. I wanted to do a light one that's a little more heathered and variegated. So I do have plans for that one. Let's see. I bought the Fiore Cashmere. This is Mayak's yarn, and it is Tibetan cloud wool with Tibetan cashmere, and I think the label is covered, so I can't see how much, what percentage, but I think it's 50% Tibetan cloud wool. It says it's 15%, so that's 75. So it would be 25% cashmere and 15% linen. Did I do the math right? I don't know. Anyway, this is really soft. This colorway is Quartz Dust. And then I got Fiordilino, which is a 50% Tibetan cloud wool and 25% baby yak and 15% Italian linen in the colorway Graphite. Don't know what I'm doing with these yet. They're both fingering weights, but I'm going to do something really, really cool with them. The drape on these is going to be fabulous. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, let's see what I have down here. Oh, I got some more of the Koopa. Nope, this is Mayak Baby Yak Silk in the colorway Pavarti. And this is 50% baby yak and 50% silk. So I think really what I did was I got a lot of summer yarns. These summer yarns are what's gonna put me through. I don't have a lot of summer yarns. I have a lot of wool. And living here in Las Vegas, I need the summer yarns. I can tell you that yesterday I wore this and I wore it all day. I had a pair of shorts on and I wore this all day and I was just fine. It was 106 out. And this is just cotton and linen and it was fabulous. I loved it. So it was great. Okay. That's what I have for that. And then Jilly A Bags was there. She had a booth at the marketplace and I picked this up for my daughter-in-law, Alexa. She just wanted a bag that she could just throw a bunch of stuff in and head out to the T-ball field for her son. And then I got a smaller one, just plain. Thought that was really cute for her because she sews also. She sews and crochets and knits and bakes. She does all the things. So I got that for her. And then while I was there, there was an Instagram ad by Redesign Bags, and they were introducing the new Project 98 bag that looks like a doctor's bag. It pops open like a doctor's bag does. I tried so hard to find it in the US. It is not here in the United States. Redesign will not ship to the United States. There were 3 stores, I think, that carried it. 2 were sold out. The third one I went to that had it does not ship to the United States. And I found one that did. And they had one left. And so I got, you guys, here is the Project 98 bag. Isn't that cool? It has this little clasp. And then it pops open like this. I love that because I won't zipper all my yarn in there. I've done that before. I've accidentally zippered a piece of my yarn up in the zipper. It has, on this side, it's got little tabs, and these are pockets. It's got this pocket here, and then on this side, it's got a zippered pocket. So I'm going to use it also as a purse. I can throw my wallet in, throw in some lip gloss or lip balm, and then my project, and be good with that. So that's what I did there. Then after Unwind, after we were at the store Unwind, we went around the corner and found Mesner's Bee Farm, and they are amazing. They do these lotions. This is only 2 of the flavors the scents that they have. This one's my favorite, wildflower and honey, because it smells a lot like honey. And I kind of a honey whore. I'm a yarn whore. I'm a honey whore. I'm a salt whore. I admit it. That's who I am. I'm good with it. Totally good with it. So this is lemongrass and bergamot. This smells really good too. They had one that had honeysuckle, lavender, bunch of other things. It was so cute. And we got this. I did buy some honey for myself and Katie, because Katie loves honey too. And lip balm. And I got tinted. I got a pack of 4 different color tints of their bee lip balm. Oh, and they had salve too. So this is Mesner Bee Farm, MESSNER, beefarm.com. I think they sell on Etsy. They will ship to you. So, no sponsorship or anything on that one, but I loved that. We had a really good time. Then we went to a place called Poppy's and had ice cream, and that was delicious. Christina is all about the sweets, loves her sweets. And I think that's what I got. I did a swatch in Amy's class, just so you can see it, of her play shawl. And this was her intarsia class. And I am not afraid of intarsia. Well, it's not that I was afraid of it. I know how to do intarsia. I just don't like it. But this made it so much easier. And she showed us how to close up the holes. It was amazing. Amazing. So this is a swatch for her shawl. It's called Play Shawl. So if you are so inclined and you want to get a really cool intarsia shawl pattern, Amy Gillet's Play Shawl. Okay, I think that's it. I had a number of you reach out and ask about the retreats and the festivals and the cruises slash knitting tours that I go on. So I am going to go ahead and record and put up what my suggestions are, the things that I found that work and don't work for retreats and festivals, so on and so forth, and let you know how fun it can be, how amazing it is. This is how I've gotten out in the community and met people in real life. I had a number of you at the retreat come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm so and so. I commented, I watch your videos," and I knew exactly who they were just from telling me this is what my name is on YouTube. And it was so wonderful to have people comment and then to be able to meet you in real life. In fact, Sandra is one that I'm going on Rhinebeck. I'm going to go hang out with her and her crowd from Sarasota, Good yarn store in Sarasota. And we're going to chill out. And then I got a roommate because I have 2 bedrooms at the cottage I rented. And Mimi, who I met at Unwind last year, and we took a class together at Flock. She didn't have a place to stay. And I said, I have a place. So now Mimi's going to room with me. She's still hanging out with her friends that she's meeting up with at Rhinebeck. But you know what? That's what we do. That's just what the community is. There are very few people that I've met that I would say, I wouldn't hang out with you. But for the most part, just great people in this community. I love it. This is why I like it and call it a cottage industry. It's fabulous. I am working on something. It's going to take 6 to 8 months. No, 6 to 12 months. But I'm very, very excited about it. And I talked to Amy from La Bien Amie about it. And she was so, so, so supportive. So we're going to talk together a little bit more about what it looks like and what it means. But I can't wait to talk to you guys about this. So I'm going to put a picture up here. And that's just a teaser about what it could possibly be. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, I appreciate you coming. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification. You have to hit notification, the bell, and then all, and that'll notify you anytime something comes up, whether it's a short or a long format. I don't do a lot of shorts. I do put up a new podcast every other week. This week, I'm actually going to put up one next week, but that's going to be all about the retreats and the festival. So it's different format. Anyway, put joy in every single stitch that you do. And thank you for coming to my little corner of the internet. Love you all. Thank you and see you on the backside. Bye.